chain comes under the purview of the supply chain head of retail chains. So that will give us an idea of what part of the supply chain to address as when it comes to transportation. I'll start with Kannan Nair to address the question.
Good afternoon, gentlemen and ladies. The transportation responsibility starts off from the point of delivery from the brands or the suppliers into the warehouse, as far as in the companies which I've been or which I'm currently in. Now, once the brand delivers into your warehouse, that's when the transportation responsibility commences for a retailer.
Mr. Korea, you are an FMCG player. So from your point of view, where is it that you let go of the transportation responsibility and the retail outlet takes over?
Good afternoon, first of all. The transportation, as far as we are as a manufacturer, and our transportation starts actually right from the inbound to the outbound transportation. As far as the retail is concerned, the transportation actually is based on the customer's requirement, and there is a customer's information flow that when and how the goods are needed, and in the similar fashion the goods are delivered to them on time in an acceptable condition. That's how the goods actually transportation.
Thank you. Thank you, Kapil. What is your experience with multi-brand retailers? Where is it that their responsibility begins for transportation?
See, it depends. It also depends from sourcing locations. If it's an imported product, they may probably want us to transport goods from the sourcing country as well. And generally in Indian subcontext, because we have warehouses within the country itself, so there the suppliers send the goods to us. Some of the suppliers even ask us to pick goods from their manufacturing locations. So we do that. It depends on the customers. Now, we do business for Shoppers Stop and Raymond's. Shoppers Stop is a multi-brand retailer. Generally, their brands deliver stocks at our warehouses only. And there are certain instances where we go and pick stocks from the manufacturers' places as well, given the requirement from Shoppers Stop. Okay. That's the way it works.
So what is the best, but I'll ask you that question first and then come to the point that I was trying to make. About what is your experience with multi-brand retailers in India? Where do they take over the transportation part?
There is a mix of requirement actually. Some of them prefer the pickup to be done from the manufacturer's place, whereas some of them want it picked up from a warehouse or from the supplier.
Okay.
So, and sometimes it is within the city as well.
Okay.
Like moving it from Bhiwandi to some place in.
So does it depend on the
Mulund.
scale?
So it really depends as what is the need. End of the day, they decide on a transporter depending on the time, the cost, and the requirement.
So what is the scenario that makes best sense for a country like India?
India is a complex country, actually speaking, because transportation, because
we have it amusing, Kapil, so I'll come back to that. You after him.
Yeah, basically because we have multiple modes of transportation. So there can't be a fixed phenomenon saying you will take only road transport.
Okay.
Primarily always the transportation is judged by the cost and transit.
Because a lot of retailers are getting on the manufacturing side as well. So my question was, what is the emerging trend? That is the question.
With the recession that's seen here, you know, most of them would love to have just-in-time inventory. Nobody wants to block their warehouses. At the same time, yes, nobody wants to take a chance with the customer, so they want to stock sufficiently. So it's always a tough decision to say whether how much do I really store or how much do I call back in the last minute.
Okay, fair enough. Kapil, you had a point to make over there.
You said India is a complex country. We have 26 countries in India. I would rather put it like that. Every state is a country. You're sitting in Bombay and you're ordering a product on eBay. Now, eBay ensures the supplier sends the goods to the customer. So the customer is first asked to get a road permit. Now, a road permit, most of the customers don't even know what a road permit is. So that's how it makes it complex. Yes, it is complex. We have a distribution center concept doesn't exist only. Even if you have one distribution center, you can't sell directly to your store in some other state. You neither have a distribution center in a different state. So yes, India is a complex country, and that's why the smile was there on the face. Because any customer who buys online is also required to furnish a road permit.
Okay, fair enough. I'll come to route optimization, Kannan Nair. So how do you do your go-to-store route optimization for products? What are the factors that are dependent on it?
See, route optimization will, if I have to define it, I will say that it's carriage of the optimal load, that is as per the capacity of the truck, may it be weight or volume capacity of the truck, with a safe passage and timely delivery without damages. And after that, a feedback. So that's what I call an optimized route. Optimal load, safe passage, timely, and feedback. Now, to go into how will I optimize a route, it goes right from the beginning from say selection of a carrier. How I partner with this carrier, how I set my KPIs with them, how I plan my routes, how do I do joint planning of the volumes that I got to go, those will come in the first phase of how I optimize route. Then comes actual physical delivery. At the time of physical delivery, despite the plan, we all know that supply chain is very dynamic. They are changing situations all the time. So at the time of delivery, we may have to do a joint discussion and find out how best we can optimize the load within the vehicle to ensure that the customer KPI, the customer requirements are met. So this is the time when we take a decision that if we are going to send a suboptimal load, or we are going to wait or delay the timing and send a full optimal load. So these are some factors which I'll keep in mind. Of course, we have to use technology. There's technology for you to support in route optimization. Again, technology needs to be supported with ground knowledge. A Google map may depict you a particular route, but when you go actually on ground, you might find that that's a one-way traffic, or that route may have been discontinued, or there might be some construction going on. So the actual relevant ground knowledge is equally important for maintaining, for creating optimal loads. And finally, we have to set KPIs which need to be adhered to make sure that our loads are optimal.
What are the right route planning tools at one's disposal while doing route optimization?
See, currently, if you ask us, there are in some warehouses we are actually using Google-based maps for route optimizing. We are also working on some software which is available for route optimizing. But this is all in trial phases. There are tools available. Now what we are actually looking is capacity utilization only. Okay. We have not gone into so much into the route optimization so far. Okay. But capacity utilization is something which we monitor.
So if you have to switch from one mode to another for better cost effectiveness, how do you ensure that the switch is seamless and it does not affect the customer service?
When you say switch, you mean multimodal methods?
Multimodal.
Multimodal methods. See, we do certain amount of imports. Now, imports are actually consolidated into a mother warehouse. And imports is one category of product which does not have an impact of VAT reversals for moving across the country. So, I mean, planning in advance is the first very step from where you can actually make sure that the customer parameters are always met. There are instances where we have some urgent shipment which actually have to move from air into road mode. Okay. For that we have to actually design the consignments through planning again for it to reach the destination airports in a manner. And this is the time when we use our freight forwarders, who are actually the experts on ground, who help us to do the seamless transfer and movement to the customer destination.
Fair enough. Mr. Korea, on route optimization from the brand's point of view. From a brand's point of view, from an FMCG point of view.
Okay. From the FMCG point of view, definitely it is again that the route which you have to adopt which is very, very good, particularly that the infrastructure of the roads wherever. Because the product which we deal particularly, say the oils, edible oils, and it is packed in tins and jars and those type of packs. When these are dispatched, and even if there is a very shorter route, but if that route is a kacha route, then it is not an advisable route because this will damage actually. So that with the transporters, we just first initially agree always that what are the road conditions for the different destinations and which they will adopt, what is the kilometers, and then the cost is calculated. Based on that, actually the route optimization is done, but it is the sound delivery and the faster delivery with the cost effectiveness, that is the only.
Fair enough. So in case of multimodal transportation, for example, railways, how good an option is railways, for example?
Well, I think in India, one most important thing which we have to learn, we must know that in India, for the passenger traffic, there is a government gives lot of concession at the cost of freight cost. And that's why if you see that for transferring the goods from here to Delhi, if it is working out to be 4 rupees per kg by truck, it comes to almost around 10 to 12 rupees per kg by train. And again, the facility available by the railway is very, very limited, even availability of the coaches and so many things.
standardization as
So
well.
it is very, very, in India, in fact, if we see that 60% of the goods are transported by road, while hardly 20 to 25% is only by the railways and only very, very selected commodity. So that all the commodities are not transported through the railway because the reliability of the railway in India still is very, very poor.
Fair enough. Kapil, you may be getting assignments or accounts on route optimization. So how do we go about it after you get an account?
See, route optimization generally starts from the warehouse, generally the warehouse which we operate. So we will have, as Colonel Nair put it, first we will look at capacity utilization. We look at the weight of the consignment. We look at the height of the consignment. We look at the length, breadth, all of those things. We will look at the number of boxes which could be fitted inside that truck. Then what we will look at are the regulatory clearances which are required at various checkposts. Because there are times, there is a lot of time wasted in clearing the octroi in Bombay, particularly if I talk about Bombay. May not be the scenario in the other states. So you'll have to look at the regulatory clearances as well. Then you will also have to look at the time taken for unloading the stocks at the shop, at the retail store point as well. And the time taken from there to the other stock point, which is in close vicinity. So you'll have to look at all these 3-4 parameters while you optimize a load.
How important is grounds knowledge, as Colonel Nair put it?
It's very important. Probably some retailer sitting in Delhi might ask you to deliver goods in Chembur and Thane at the same time. But Chembur has octroi and Thane has no octroi. Thane has moved away from octroi. So it's very important that you know the ground knowledge. And ground knowledge is only existing, if you'll only have the ground knowledge when you are doing it. That's why ground knowledge is very important. Just an example which I gave to you.
Vasudevan? What are the factors you take into account when doing route optimization for a customer?
Actually, Colonel Nair told the right thing, you know. It is very important we know the local situation as to how things happen. And usually drivers are people who are not considered or even consulted when we make a plan. Usually there are tools available. Like for us, we are in the express business. We have city master plan made so as to know where if I have to send a shipment, let's say sitting out of MIDC, how can I deliver a shipment to Ballard Estate, or how can I deliver something at Vashi? There is aspect of when I'm going to Vashi, there is going to be an octroi check post there, where there is going to be LBT. Whereas if I go to, till recently when I was sending it to Thane, there will be an octroi. But similarly, if I'm bringing something from Bhiwandi, and here, there's an export shipment that's coming in, the customer expects it will just go to the cargo terminal if it is going to be by air. But then again, there is going to be that, you know, LBT is there in Thane and there's octroi in Mumbai.